Welcome to Kitchen Counseling. I'm Chef Tom. I'm your motorcycle riding holistic chef. Now today we got a little special one for you. I'm over at my mom's house and she wanted some chicken parmesan. So we are going to cook up my crispy chicken parmesan. So the first step I want to show you, because this is what you want to do a little bit ahead of time and let it sit, and then we'll come back and do all the other stuff. We're basically, let me spin this down so you can actually see what we're doing here. So here's our countertop. So we've got just a shallow pan here that I put in. You're gonna have a couple eggs, a tablespoon of garlic, a couple tablespoons of fresh parsley, and some salt and pepper just to taste. I used about a teaspoon of salt and about a half a teaspoon or so of pepper. And then we're gonna take our chicken breasts and we are going to dredge them through here, get them all nice and coated. And then we're going to throw those into a Ziploc bag. You can smell that garlic. This is really what's going to make them really nice when we cook them all up. Now the recipe here that I have for you all, it's 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, and like I said, salt and pepper to taste. I used about a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Now what I did, because we had a little bit more on the chicken here, so I went ahead and doubled that and I put in 4 eggs so we'd have enough extra. I'd rather have a little bit extra than to run shy and then have to regroup and do it after you're already kind of in the mix of things. So we did 4 eggs, we did 2 tablespoons of the garlic. You can really smell this garlic. And we still did about 2 tablespoons of the fresh parsley, because you just need that not only for the look, but you don't need to overdo the parsley. So I did not double the parsley. And then the salt and pepper was the same also. So I just add a little bit more garlic to the eggs. So we got a nice flavor going on. Now we're gonna put this in the bag and we're gonna let this marinate. And we're gonna want it to marinate for at least 15 minutes. But if you actually plan this ahead of time, you can do this step the night before and let it sit overnight. What that does is that really allows that marinade to get into the chicken with the garlic and everything, and it's really, really good. So if you have the time, you can do it the day before. Do it the day before, throw it in the fridge, let it marinate overnight, and then we'll come back and we'll do the rest of the steps. But at least at a minimum of 15 minutes. Let it sit there for a while, let it kind of start to marinate together. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this sit for about 15 minutes or so. We're gonna come back and actually do the full thing for you. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Bye. All right, welcome back. All right, so we've marinated the chicken now for about 15 minutes. So we're going to do at least 15 minutes, let it go as long as you can. The longer you can, the deeper the flavors are. That's awesome. So we kind of went through the steps of what was in that marinade. So the next step now, we're going to spin you down here so you can see what I'm working on here. So the next step is we're actually going to bread it. All right, so we got our little breading here. We got our chicken. We're just gonna get it nice coated. Doesn't that look nice with all the color on it? And while we're doing this, I'll talk about what is in this mixture, because this mixture, to me, is what makes it. This is what makes it really, really good. So we've got some chicken breasts that we cut in half so they're not so thick. And then some of them were still really big, so we even cut them down side to side. So we got got some different sizes here. We got some big ones and some little ones. But you can see that the actual depth on them is, they're not more than maybe about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch thick, which is gonna allow them to cook fairly fast, which is what we're looking for. We don't want to cook this super duper long, because the breasts, they will dry out. All right, so we're going here. We're just going to get through all these as we're going. So let's talk about what's in this breadcrumb mixture. All right, so this breadcrumb mixture has the basic recipe is 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 3/4 of a cup of Italian gold. Make that half a cup of Italian or golden breadcrumbs, so they're a little bit different consistency. So you got a cup of panko, a half a cup of the Italian golden, and then a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, which is all in here, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. So that's what's our mixture. That's our dredging mixture here that we're using here. Now I've doubled this, so everything looks a little bit bigger. We had a little bit more chicken, so I went ahead and did a double on this recipe. But we're just gonna basically get them all coated using that egg mixture to kind of grab all these goodness here that's going to be fried up. So our next step, once we get this done, is we're going to take this over to the stove top, and we're going to put in some olive oil, probably about a half a cup or so olive oil into a big frying pan, and then we're going to fry these on the stove top, just maybe 4 or 5 minutes each side. We just want to make them golden. We're not looking to cook them all the way through because they're going to go in the oven too with all the sauce and the cheese and everything on them. So we're just kind of getting that golden look into them, that crispiness. That's where the crispy comes from. And then after that is done, they're going to go into the oven, and we're going to cook them for 15 to 20 minutes in the oven, and that's where we're going to add the cheese and the sauce and all that goodness, and when they come out, they'll be ready to eat. So it's several steps in the process, but it's definitely worth it. These things, I have done them for catering jobs, and people are like, those are the best chicken parmesans I have ever had. So, you know what, take the time to do all the steps on this one. It's worth it. And when my mom says she needs some chicken parmesan, this is what I do. So I come over and take care of that. So those are our steps. We're finishing up this right now. We're going to come back once we get over set up at the stove top, and we'll do the next step. So hang with us. We'll be with you very soon. And we are back. All right, now there's going to be some fun stuff here. Now we've done all the breading. We did all that and everything. So now let me flip you down here so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to fry up our... Oop, don't want to lose you yet. Don't lose you. Oops. Lose all my stuff here. We don't want that to happen. All right. That's about as best as I'm going to get it. So we got our chicken breasts. And like I said, we're just going to fry these up till they're golden brown. Just about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. Once they kind of get that golden brown, we're going to take them out. And then we're going to prepare them and stage them for the oven, which is where they'll get finished off. So this is what we're looking at. When they get done, like I said, we can start the next step of that. But this is where we're at this point. We also have some sauce going on in the back. See if I can get this so you can see the whole thing here. We got our sauce warming up in the back. I made that yesterday. You can use whatever kind of sauce you like. If you want to just go buy some jar sauce or whatever, I prefer to make my own. So if you want that, you're going to have to watch another show. I've got another show with Tom's Pasta Sauce. That's my go-to sauce for everything I do. So we'll go ahead and cook these up. We'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll put them in the oven, and we'll finish this whole thing up. All right, see you in a bit. Bye. Okay, we're back. I just wanted to show you kind of what the frying looks like real quick. We're just finishing it up now. It was just a few minutes on each side. So let's just see what we got going in our pan here. So this is what you're looking for. There's the ones that are done. Get them nice golden brown. Do not worry about trying to get it all cooked all the way through. That's not the process here. The process here is to get that nice look to it. Get it nice and crispy. The finishing of the cooking is going to happen on the next step in the oven. All right? So let me get this cleaned up. We'll come back. We'll get it all ready to go into the oven, and that'll be our last step in the cooking process. All right? We'll see you in a minute. Bye. All right. We are back. Okay, now we got everything fried up. We've got everything kind of staged here. We're going to show you the next step. So you took everything out of the frying pan. You got it on a sheet tray with some paper towels just to kind of absorb some of that extra oil and whatnot. Now we're going to do what I call dressing the chicken. So we're going to put it into a baking sheet of some kind. We're going to add about 1/3 cup or so of the sauce, of the pasta sauce per breast. And then we're gonna top it with some mozzarella cheese and then some Parmesan cheese. Now, mozzarella cheese, you can either use slices or you can use shredded, whatever you want to. You're just basically kind of covering the top of it so it'll melt down on there. Parmesan cheese, you just sprinkle on top too. So you got a couple of cheeses going on. There's also Parmesan in the bread crumb mixture that we did, so we got lots of Parmesan going on. So let's go ahead. I got some of them going, already started here. Let's see, I'm gonna have to hold this because this does not want to work for me today. There we go. So we go in here, we've got one of them kind of going. Now, we got our sauce back here warming up, the one I made yesterday. And we're just gonna cover that chicken breast with the sauce. And the sauce, I tell you, this is really a key for this one and why this really pops. And it's the best chicken Parmesan you will ever have. I do believe it's the sauce that is the killer that takes it over the top. I've had a lot of chicken Parmesan and the sauce can make a huge difference. Sauce with any dish can make a huge difference. I believe the sauce is the key on most dishes, on whether they are just great or they are awesome, fantastic. So let's turn that sauce off. We're done with that. So let me go get my cheese here. Now I opted for some slices today. I've done both. It's just a little bit easier to work with as we were working in a tight space today. So I'm just adding a little bit of cheese to all of them. This one's a little thin, so we'll add that extra on there. And we're gonna sprinkle a little Parmesan all over the top. And then this is going to go in the oven. So now we're ready at the final step. Okay, so we are now going to bake this. We had preheated our oven, which I didn't tell you, sorry. Preheat our oven to 430 degrees. 430 degrees is kind of an odd number, but yeah. 430 degrees, you got our oven up to 430 degrees. Now we're gonna stick these two pans in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. We're basically just cooking them until the cheese all bubbles and melted and the chicken's already cooked through, and it will be cooked through in about 15 minutes. Take it out of the oven, and then we're gonna sprinkle it with a little fresh basil for the look, and then we're gonna make a little bit of spaghetti on the side, so we'll have a little pasta and sauce on the side, and we're gonna have a little meal, okay? And then that'll be our dinner. So let's get this in the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. See you in a few. Bye. All right, we're back, and 15 minutes later, we cooked those up, and let's take a quick look to see what they look like. So we brought them out of our oven, and here is our chicken Parmesan. Ooh, just sprinkle a little basil on there. That was it. There's our other one. And now we're basically down to the part where we're just going to plate it. So we're gonna make up a little bit of pasta for the side and put a little side pasta with our sauce and the chicken parm. We'll get it all plated up for you, and we'll have that for you. And we're gonna sit down, and then my mom and I are gonna sit down and have a nice Sunday dinner. All right, see you in a bit. Bye. All right, this is our final product here. Here's our chicken Parmesan, the side of spaghetti, some Tom's pasta sauce. Time to eat. Manja manja. Till next time, like us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, shoot us out some love, send us any comments or any questions you have. Check out the info at the end of the show for all the streaming services through KP Media and any of the links that you might be interested in as far as the cookware and whatnot. And have a good time. Have a good day. We'll see you on the next one. Remember my 4Fs, family, friends, fun, and food. Until next time, love you.